Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Wednesday to everybody, man. Listen, we got a good one lined up for you today. But before I do that, I got Marvin Powell the third coming in, and we got something to talk about, man. We're gonna talk about Phil Steele. He put out his top 25, and listen, USC's right up there, man. And it's a special spot, and we're gonna talk about that, the significance of that. But before I do that, I gotta get into something, man. You guys know that on Monday, and I'm gonna put this up on Monday. USCJ, myself, and Kendall Hollowell, we did a live show, and I got this unfortunate feedback on the response on the live, and it is this. It was a comment, and it was USC football related, but it was, it kind of caught me off guard, man. But this is here. You can see it. It's Daisy Ramirez. She says, USCJ, my sister loved your podcast. She would always say, check USCJ for real USC football content news. She says, I'm sorry to say that she tragically got killed in a car accident. Whew. I'm having a hard time with this one because, I responded back to it, and then I'm just skipped down because she texted me back after I responded back to her. She says this. She says, thank you, USCJ. My sister was Amelia. And when she said Amelia, you guys know, like, this is a kind of a close-knit fan of, podcast community. And when she said Amelia, it jumped out at me because Amelia actually sent me a comment last week, so much so that I remembered it. I actually coincidentally screenshotted her comment from what she said last week because it touched my heart. And it's this right here. She says this. This is Amelia right here. This is her comment from last week. She says, hey, USCJ. Man. We're going to get on with the show. But she said, hey, USCJ, thank you not only for awesome Trojan content. I'm going to pause this for a minute. All right, let's finish this. She says, thank you for your awesome Trojan content, but for being a strong man of faith. You guys can read it. I can't read all this. But anyway, she sent me a message last week, and man, I'm just thoughts and prayers. You guys can see it on there. Thoughts and prayers to her family. Amelia always wrote in, but she did say this. She says, I know this isn't standard Trojan sports talk, but I'm over 240 days in my walk with the Lord, and your channel was a huge inspiration for that. I used to deal with heavy anxiety and sleeplessness at night, but since I started reading the word and truly believing, the darkness is completely gone and replaced with real peace. Thank you for being a light in this community. Fight on and God bless. Little did I know that I would get this coming from her sister, that she had passed away. So thoughts and prayers with Amelia's family. She was a true Trojan, and most of all, she did accept the Lord. And we believe what the word says, man. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. To live is Christ. And we believe that to die is the gain. So much prayer to her family, much prayer to her. So let's bring Marvin in, man. Sorry we had to start it off like that. But pray for Amelia's family. All right, so here he is right here, the people's champ, the other people's champ, Marvin Powell III, man. Marvin, it's been a minute, man. How are you doing it? Tell everybody who you are and where they can find you. Marvin is, let me say this, a former Trojan, played at USC back in the day, played with some greats. But Marvin also, he does podcasting in other places and he writes. Marvin, can you tell everybody where they can find you at real quick?
Yeah, roundtablesports.com. I write for Roundtable. I cover FSU athletics, Florida State, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Miami Marlins as well. I'm writing articles weekly, doing videos daily, and you can catch me on social media, Marvin Powell III. As Jay said, man, I played for SC in the 90s. My dad played for SC in the 70s. Pops was a legend for the Jets. I was fortunate to play with Mike Ditka in New Orleans, and now I'm fortunate to be a guest pretty often. We're here with the hottest USC media guy on the planet. So
And mostly, let me say this: I'm just doing this only for new subscribers. Mostly, everybody knows who Marvin is, but just in case you don't, excuse me, don't know who he is, I just wanted to make sure we throw that out there for new subscribers. But Marvin, let's get right into it, man, because we talked about this, man. This was Phil Steele, man. This is a couple things we're gonna talk about, but Phil Steele, he put out his number one, not number one. This is number one, but he put out his every year he does a magazine. Phil Steele's football report, if you will, and he put out his top 40 schools, I believe, but he got USC at lo and behold, number 11. So, when I saw this, something stood up in me because, I'm going to go back and forth about this because you had your list, that's yours, and I had mine. We'll go back to that in just a second. So we're going to kind of revisit that. Initially, when you see this number 11, man, is it respect? How you feeling about it? Phil Steele.
I think it's fair. I mean, listen, college football is driven by the quarterback, okay? And those who know realize we got a real dog coming back, okay? We have a guy. Like we have and when you look at the standard of quarterback at USC and all the many outstanding college quarterbacks we've had, and then you look how Lincoln Riley raises that standard even higher. When you look at in his short career, the quarterbacks he has, we have a guy that meets the standard, okay? And when you look at the rankings and teams who are unknown, you got to start at the quarterback. Jayden Maiava is a dude, so it makes sense. And then on top of that, you look at the fact that we have, 7 starters coming back at the offensive line.
Man.
That's significant. You look at the fact that we have both of our starting running backs coming back. That's significant. You look at the fact that we have a premier wideout in Terrell Anderson coming from NC State, not including the young dudes, but he's the one that's been proven, right? I'm only talking about proven players at this point, all right? When you look at that by itself, it makes sense that preseason they would put us at 11. We went 7-0 at home last year. We went undefeated at home. Last year was another step up for Lincoln Riley, even though for USC fans, 9-3 regular season wasn't what we were looking for. And then you look at the addition on defense with the leadership, because really the biggest thing about Lincoln Riley has been the defense. Danton Lynn had us okay the last couple of years. It was more of a personnel issue, I think, than a coaching issue on the defensive side of the ball in regards to the leadership. But bringing in GP, Hall of Famer, the guys we got coming back on defense, I mean, it's fair and it makes sense. It does.
No, it definitely makes sense. And, a lot of people, some people might have thought we were a little bit lost in the sauce when we put up our list. And, we'll talk about that in just a second. But one of the things that he highlighted in his magazine was that USC is a legitimate playoff contender. He put us at number 11. That was 11 out of top 40 schools that he ranked. But as you alluded to, you talked about Jayden Maiava coming back. And that was one of the things. Jayden Maiava is the engine of this team. And the fact that he's coming back, I just put a video out just the other day, and I kind of talk about how he was throwing dimes in the Manning passing camp. And not to throw shade on any other quarterback, but we saw, you saw Arch Manning out there. And, he was throwing – I don't know if you seen that video.
I watched all your videos. That's all.
Yeah. And so he kind of, he kind of threw one over the shoulder. But not saying, Arch is going to throw some dimes, out there. But for the most part, man, Jayden Maiava is a legit candidate, man, to be the Heisman. Phil Steele is kind of highlighting all those things in his magazine, man. So you were absolutely right as it relates to that. And then you talked about the offensive line. That's another thing. Phil Steele said the offensive line, it is literally the nation's best. Phil Steele says one of the biggest compliments is directed at USC's offensive line. And so for him to recognize that, it looks like he did his due diligence. A lot of people don't do their due diligence. They don't do their homework. And, the other point you made about the starters coming back on offense, we have a total of 17 total starters, the most in college football right now. That alone should speak volumes and say, look, we coming in, moving and grooving, man. So what's your thoughts overall on that aspect? The most in college football coming back, 17 starters.
Look, for a college football player, the number one thing that gives that player confidence is playing experience. You are a different player after you play your first game. You know what I mean? After you get that rush out of your system, the anxiety, you've seen the speed of the game. You're a different player mid-season. You're a different player at the end of the season. You're a different player going into the bowl game. And then you talk about guys who played for the first time last year, who got reps and are now going through this program with GP on defense and Lincoln Riley on offense. Again, I mean, it's just adding to their confidence. And that's how you get the best out of players. When a player is confident, you're going to get the best out of that player, and when you give them good coaching. So, again, when you look at what we have coming back and the guys and the coaching that they're getting, I mean, Jayden Maiava has gotten better every single year.
Yeah.
Last year, he finished the season as the most efficient quarterback in college football. This was a guy who, at certain parts of the year, you heard national media talking about maybe he's in the Heisman content, maybe he's in Heisman watch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, that came and went. But with that said, the kid played as a whole. He played well last year, and he played better last year than he did the year before that. So, you know, what you want in college football is continuity. That's what we've been fighting with the transfer portal. That's what we've been really up against in this new era of football. But we've been fortunate to retain players. Players believe in the program. Chad and Jen and Lincoln got something they know how to pitch this thing. It's showing. But yeah, man, it's guys coming back with experience. Even guys who didn't start last year. You're talking about 17 starters. We have that, and other people who didn't start but played. You know what I mean?
Right.
So again, that's just, you know, they're going to be that much more confident, that much better. And when you look at the 11 ranking that Phil gave us, that makes sense, man. That's fair.
It makes sense.
I think we're going to be higher than that. But
I think, and yeah, I'm going to get back to this in a minute because I want to show you. I'm going to show you guys in just a second. I'm going to show you guys what Marvin had him ranked and what I had him ranked. Marvin's not far off. I'm not far off. And I think, you know, it wasn't a homer pick. We were both trying to attempt to do our due diligence and really just say, look, the most 17 starters, these guys coming back, I think we're going to be okay. One of the other things that Phil Steele did say, though, everything is still going to be, you know, contingent on the offense, well, the defense rather, and how everybody mixed together with Gary Patterson. But he's still confident that we are the number 11 ranked team. And, you know, what are your thoughts on that aspect of it, the Gary Patterson and how this thing should gel together with him?
Well, listen, this is how you have to look at it, okay? Danton's first year, we were better. We were much better than Danton's first year. Danton's second year, you know, we saw some growth. Now we got, in my opinion, we have Gary Patterson, who was like Danton 2.0, just because of his experience and how much older he is than Danton. Danton's going to go on to be probably a Gary Patterson. He's a really good young defensive coordinator. But he's already been there. He's already had elite defenses. He's already had nationally ranked defenses and did it with guys who gave him everything because these dudes wasn't 5 stars. He wasn't playing with 4 and 5 stars, you know, throughout the entire defense like he's going to play with at USC. Okay?
No, that's facts.
Yeah. So, and even with those, you know, those 2 and 3 stars he was playing with, 1, 2, and 3 stars.
He was a 2-star?
Yeah, he was going to Lincoln Riley fix back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
so,
right.
No,
yeah.
It makes a ton of sense that you get a guy with the experience, you know, just with the knowledge, you know, with all the years working with, you know, a young man. And he hasn't been out. I mean, he was coaching at Texas, helping out at Texas, helping out, I think, at LSU or some other schools. So he's been around, you know what I'm saying? And you just bring that enthusiasm and that knowledge, that expertise, and you add it to elite play. And yeah, it makes sense that our defense should take a step up next year.
I agree.
Yeah. And, you know, listen, I like the fact that Phil has us at 11. I think we're going to end up much higher than that. That for USC, we have to finally prove something to people. We've been a lot of hype going into the last, you know, 8 seasons, I feel like, even before Lincoln, right? I mean, it's been almost, is this the year? And then we end up having a mediocre season, all right? We got to go out there and.
So let me ask you: do you consider? I know for our standards, I know what USC standards.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off either, but I know USC standards. But do you consider we went 9-3, and just to kind of reflect back, Phil still did have us at 15 last year coming to season. So that 9-3 ranked number 15 was kind of almost on par, I guess you could kind of say, to his ranking. So do you feel like it was mediocre, in your opinion? Or do away with? I don't even want to say do away with USC standards. Do you consider us having a mediocre season last year?
Uh, I look at it like this. I don't. So by USC standards, yeah, it was. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. By USC standards, I
yeah,
get that.
absolutely. I mean, we lost. We lost. We went to an insignificant bowl game, lost. We lost to one of our rivals.
Hmm.
You know, and we lost. Yeah, and we lost games on the road that we shouldn't have lost. I mean, yeah, it was absolutely mediocre. I
Hmm.
think. I think we still took a step up from the year before. You know what I mean? Like we took a step up. Um, Again, Lincoln's last 2 years, you've seen growth. You have. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, that's just what it is. And the common denominator in that, if you want to be honest, is Jayden Maiava. That's just how I look at it.
Hmm.
And we've only added to that with the additions and the guys we have in. And so, yeah, it was mediocre. I mean, listen, at USC, I'm expecting us to compete for and win the conference, and then from there go amongst the best teams in the nation in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and we can beat teams in the playoffs. We can listen. We better beat San Jose State and Louisiana Tech and Rutgers. We better
We about
those
to get into that in just a second because I
right.
know we gonna. That's me and you kind of talked about that. I want to get into that in the next segment. While we still on this segment, ranked number 11, I want to revisit you real quick.
Yeah.
This is where you had USC at.
This is
You had them
this
coming in at number 9.
preseason poll. I expect us to do better than 9, to be honest with you. But when you look at just being objective and you look at last season and the fact that we haven't really got over that hump yet. We haven't showed
Yeah.
Ohio State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Indiana. I mean, Miami. They've gotten over humps. They're
Right.
in a whole other category. You expect them to
Miami just got
have,
over the hump this year.
but
They
they did
finally
it.
got. They did it. They finally got over it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a hater. I'm keeping it real. Okay,
Yeah. They just got over it. Yeah.
you can justifiably expect them to compete for a national title. All those teams I just mentioned. Okay,
No doubt.
USC I believe has the talent and has the leadership, and I think the time is right in our growth in Lincoln Riley,
Absolutely.
in this Lincoln Riley process. But we still have to go out there and show that first. So
We have to.
that's
Yeah.
why the
Yeah.
ranking is what it is. If we play any of these schools in the playoffs, I expect to beat them. I do.
You know. To be honest with you, I feel like the type of talent we had last year, if we would have made it to the playoff, I think we would have rose to the occasion. I think we had the talent to get there last year. To be honest with you, we shot ourselves in the foot, special teams. But that goes back into Mike Eckler hiring him. I think he's going to clean some stuff up for us, special teams. And the defense was kind of they gave us
Defense
some
was
huge
soft in
chunk
the
play.
middle.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the defense
they
soft
gave
in
us some
the
stuff in the
middle.
middle, no doubt. So you had a number 11. Revisiting what I had him at number. No, you had him at number 9. We both had him at number 9. So I think we both kind of right on cue as to where Phil Steele. We got him a couple spots higher, and we truly believe what we're seeing with this USC football team.
And what's consistent with all the teams that we have ranked ahead of USC? They all have quarterbacks. They all have quarterbacks. On my list for sure, and I think on yours as well.
Yeah,
I saw you had
put
Ole
yours
Miss.
back up.
Yeah. So all these teams that I have up here,
Take away Texas Tech. Oh no, okay, that was they're at number 16. My bad. Okay,
yeah.
I'm thinking of number 6.
The question is Indiana because their quarterback just got drafted number 1 overall. All right, but they're the defending national champion, and they got people coming back and coaching. Signetti's the real deal. He's not. This is not a fluke with him. He is what he is.
And they got a transfer quarterback from TCU too.
Yeah. So
So
all these schools ahead of USC have a quarterback. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, that's the number one. You talk about preseason. If you
yeah,
don't have a playmaking dude,
it's
you got a
over.
problem. You got a
Yeah,
problem. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
No, I totally agree with that.
and I'll take Jayden over any of them dudes ahead of us. And I
I've
mean
been
that for
saying
real.
it. I've been saying it
Every
for a long
single
time.
dude. It
I
blows my
think Jay-
mind. We got the quarterback from Notre Dame ahead of him. Carr?
Hey, bro. Hey, that is the most. He's not even. He doesn't even. He's not even the same stratosphere as with
Miami's
Jayden
going to be
Maiava.
an NFL starting quarterback. I'm not saying in his rookie season, but he's going to be an NFL starting quarterback. You understand?
No, that's
He's
fact.
going to be drafted in the first round. Maiava's going to
Yep.
be a top 10 pick. No
Yeah.
doubt about it. He has the size. He has a demeanor. He's smart. I mean, he has a cannon attached to his shoulder. He's precise with it. He can move. He can move. He can run. I mean, 3 years in Lincoln Riley's system. This dude, he's going to be the next dude.
He's primed to explode this year. But we
He
still
hasn't-
got the hate. Do you not know I had a fan when I talked about Jayden Maiava the other day? Literally had a fan literally come in the comment section and say, man, Jayden's not. I said, man, what are you guys seeing that I don't? I wish I could read the comment because I commented back on it. I said, do you realize he led QBR all year long? Do you realize that we had the number one offense pretty much all year except to the end of the year? People act like they have selective amnesia and forget that part of it. I don't get. Am I saying Jayden was perfect? They say, oh, he didn't show up in the big game. Man, listen, man, he showed up in Michigan. I mean, like he showed up in Iowa. He threw dimes. I mean, you forgetting about that part?
Yes, yes. Of all the things that I may question, I sincerely do not question anything about our quarterback. We got a guy,
Right.
though.
Yeah.
I played with Carson Palmer when I was a senior. Carson was a freshman. And I
Yeah.
knew him. He was a dog back then. You know what I'm saying? If a dog won't bite you, he'll do it when he's a puppy, and that's how Carson was. And I'm not saying that Jayden is Carson, but I think he's. I think.
Well, let me ask you this though.
Huh.
Jaywalk told me you said he was a freshman. You were a senior. He was a freshman.
Yeah.
Jaywalk talked about something on here, a segment one time where he played with Carson too, and he said he remembers everybody was talking about Carson the way they were talking about Jayden. Then all of a sudden, Carson came back. Do you remember those articles?
I know what he's talking about. I know what
Yeah.
he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Carson ended up, phenomenal year, phenomenal professional, phenomenal year, and so I don't know, man. I just
Well,
think they
when I
got
said
some.
he's not Carson, to me, before Caleb Williams showed up, I would have said that Carson Palmer is the number one quarterback in USC history, the best quarterback, the most
Wow,
talented.
over Matt Liner.
Absolutely. I got Matt Leinart at 4. I got Matt.
Okay.
I have Matt Leinart as the all-time greatest Trojan. Leinart is the all-time greatest Trojan. But if you talk about ranking quarterbacks and the best quarterback, not the most trophies.
Wait a minute, we got to do another show on this.
Let me just before. I mean, if you don't want to get into it right now, let me say this: y'all forgot about Rodney Peete. People forget Rodney Peete finished second in the Heisman. And I know there's a difference between second and first. Rodney was a dog out there.
Marcus Allen's an all-time favorite, all-time greatest Trojan, I believe. That's what I believe.
I think you got to give it to Matt Leinart because he was a quarterback. And you talk about he has so much talent around him, but he did what we're supposed to do with it. He won championship. He won championship.
But
he did with it the right thing. So, and he's a QB, so I got to give it to Marcus. Is my number 2 all time.
Yeah, you talk about the 2,000 yards, the Super Bowl, the Heisman. I mean, But anyway, we gonna pick that back up because that's a whole nother show. We might pick that up Friday if we can get to it, man.
I'll tell you my top 5 USC quarterbacks all time and tell you
all
why.
time. You guys drop the comments, put that in there. We're gonna probably try to get a show on Friday. Marvin wants to smoke. I'm gonna smoke back.
Let me add one point to this, okay? Then we can get off. Friday. Matt was Carson's backup in college and the pros for a reason. Okay?
Yeah.
Mic drop. That's it.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? And I'm not even gonna say what I'm not even gonna say because he's not even the same category. But Miller Moss is Caleb Williams' backup at Chicago and at USC. But I'm not. But that's a whole nother. But that's not even in the same. It's not even the same.
I got love for Matt. Matt is a Trojan.
Yeah, same here. Matt was a dog. He was a dog.
Trojan brother who I've never met. I love what you did for our program. He is, to me, the all-time greatest Trojan because of the quarterback and the accolades, but he's not the number one quarterback if we're looking at it just in who's the best quarterback. So,
no, I got you. I respect it. So moving on real quick. Number 2, you alluded to it already. First 3 games, man. What is that going to say to us? What is that going to tell us? What are we going to find out? I said here, I was on with Kendall Hollowell. I kind of felt like it's going to take a while for us to get these position battles settled. First 3 games, man. What is that? What are you looking for?
Well, listen, I respect all of our opponents. I do. I don't look past anybody. I realize that for our first 3 opponents, we're the biggest or the second biggest game on their schedule.
Yeah.
The only other team that they say is bigger than us is it would be their rival. Okay.
Yeah,
whoever it may be. Okay. So to them, in all season, all off season, Rutgers, Louisiana, and who else we played? San Jose.
San Jose, Lafayette, and San Jose, Lafayette, Fresno State.
Them dudes is getting pumped up about the SC game.
Yeah, and Fresno State has Matt Ince, man. I'm not sleeping on them at all.
Yeah. With that said, I expect us to dog walk them, all 3 teams. Okay.
Yeah.
and especially the first two. I respect them. I'm sure they have some NFL players. I'm sure they have good coaching. But when you look at what our commitment has been financially to our roster, when you look at our commitment to where we are year 5 in the Lincoln Riley era, we finally have defense straight, which we're waiting to see, but we do believe that, those who know. I'm expecting to see all the freshmen play and be able to see them compete. I'm waiting to
Yeah.
see our offensive line. We need to be able to run the ball the way a national title contender should run the ball against a lower tier school.
No, no, that's fact.
I need to see bully ball. I need to see
Yeah,
bully
yeah,
ball, and the
yeah.
point differential needs to be something that makes me feel good. I need to go to
Well,
bed feeling good.
yeah. I'm
Right?
gonna be honest though. I'm gonna be honest. We need
Yeah.
not just to get still. Phil Steele said we got one of the best offensive line. I want to see like the same way we ran against Michigan. I think the same way we ran, we need to be consistent with that all year long and run against everybody. Run it down Ohio State throat, run it down Oregon's throat. I mean, period. Let them feel it. You know what I'm saying? They
And
coming
look,
to our house. You know what I
and
mean?
look, I know Lincoln has, talked to all these freshman receivers about, their opportunities and all this stuff. And it will be a Heisman year for Jayden for sure. He'll be in these conversations.
We got to
So,
do it however we got to do it.
but my thing is this: the number one way to tell early in the season how good a football team is, one of the ways, at least for me, and I'm an old school run
Yeah.
blocking fullback, y'all, is how they can run, dominate in the run game, run at will, okay, and stop the run. So I expect us against these first two teams, especially, to be able to run the ball the way we want to run the ball. Okay, and we should be able to, with GP and the new additions we have on defense and everything that we talking about with our D line. I hate to see our D line stuff the middle. Last
No,
year
that's
we were
facts.
soft in the
Yeah.
middle. We can't have that. Last season, in the beginning of the season, we were still getting gashed by some of our non-conference opponents early in the season. As a whole, on defense, we did well, and I forgot who all the teams we played last season. But
Georgia Southern,
we were
Georgia
getting gashed.
Southern,
It
Missouri
was
State. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's no reason for us to be getting gashed like that. So I want to see a difference. I want to see a point differential and us running at will. I want to see our freshmen in the game playing all the things I'm hearing about, but what they're doing in the offseason in the spring. I want to see that on Saturdays. Those first two
No, no,
games.
I agree. I
From there,
100% agree.
yeah, and then from
100% agree.
there, going into Oregon, we'll have a much better idea as to what we really working with. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
no, you speaking facts. You speaking 100% facts, and I think the fact that we got more depth now, the fact that it's no excuses. You know, we had guys like Kaylon Miller, King Miller's brother, playing offensive guard during. You know, you're talking about he's 5'11" during the Oregon game. We're not going to have that, and there's no disrespect to him. I think he should probably move at center, and I think he will be a phenomenal center. But you look at Pepe, you look at Kolajay, you look at these guys that came in now. Alani Noah coming back, Elijah Page coming back. You look at the quality of these guys, the size of these guys. You got guys like Elijah Vicona standing at 6'8", 350 pounds. All of these guys that are just phenomenal size guys. Justin Tono, you have these guys that are coming on the offensive line, and it is no excuse. It's not going to be no drop off on the offensive line. It's not going to be a drop off on the defensive line, and that's why I feel like Phil Steele really understands exactly what we have personnel wise. I really feel like he did his due diligence, and that's why he has us at number 11. You got us at number 9. I have us at number 9, and I think we're going to absolutely move and groove.
and
Any last thing you want to say on that?
Yeah, listen, keep in mind as well, I believe that Lincoln Riley, right now, he's the best he's ever been as a head coach. I
Facts,
believe
yeah.
that. And I think he came out and said that. I think you talked about that as well. I believe that. I think that the success he had at Oklahoma and then having to really start a program from the ground up for the first time in his career, go through the drama trying to figure out our NAL, I think all the adversity has made him better. I love how he represents. I like what he's saying in the interviews he's given and just kind of things that I've heard. I think this is the best version of him ever, and I love it. And I think he's confident for a reason. I think he knows what he has. So again, I put him at we put him at 9. Phil put him at 11. That's That's great for preseason. Now we got to go earn it and move up that ladder.
I like that. Absolutely. I totally agree, man. Last thing before we get out of here, man, we're going, hey, you know what? Every time we come on, Marvin, every time you come on, time flies, man. It seems like, look, 29 minutes gone, just out of here just like that. I mean, it's like that. You see, I mean, we don't even
Jay,
try. We don't even try right now, Marvin. It's just like time goes.
Jay, I love Trojan football. I know, as a matter of fact, you love Trojan football, man.
Absolutely.
This is I could do this 8-10 hours a day, man. Like I love
No,
this
that's
so,
fact.
and I
That's
love being
fact.
on your show because you do got the hottest show out there.
No, I appreciate you, Marvin, man, and good to have you back. Last thing we
Yeah,
want to touch on real quick is Eli Woodard. I had him on this show. Phenomenal kid, man. I actually talked to his mom, and he fell victim. We just we call it like it is. He fell victim to the Chad Bowden rule, man. But however, man, he committed to Miami, and honestly, I feel like Eli Woodard. We got Roy Oliver. I kind of feel like they're kind of the same type of players, man. Part of the 2027 class. So he ended up committing to Miami today. We recorded this the night before, but he ended up committing today. So look, shout out to him. But what's your thoughts on the
well,
whole the
first,
whole?
first of all, let's keep it a buck. The only place that reminds me of LA in the recruiting landscape is Miami. I lived down there for 15 years. I came to
Yeah.
Atlanta from Miami.
So you could kind of see where and he got the bag. He got the bag
Bro, man, I'm tell you right now, he's 18 years old with a bag full of money. Man,
on
I'm gonna
Miami
tell you,
Beach.
them beaches. Hey, I just came back from the beach, from the Miami Beach. We was out there with the fam. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful place to be, man. Hey, we got him early and we got him cheap. That's really what happened. And then Chad probably
Yeah.
set the budget for what it is. Other teams caught on to him. They threw him a bigger bag. I get it. I ain't got no.
Hey, he
Hey,
got the MVP this past weekend at the Nike camp. Man,
hey,
he
and
balled
that comes
out.
with a bag. Yeah, that comes
Yeah,
with a bag.
yeah, yeah.
So congratulations. I hope that brother goes out there. I hope he graduates and I hope he gets to the league.
No doubt. And he's good. And like I said, Roy Oliver, hey, that's a dog. That's a big dog.
He is.
That's
I'm
that's
excited
a
about
big
him.
dog.
I'm excited
Yeah.
about him.
I'm excited about it, man. So look, Marvin, man, it's been 30. Man, this went incredibly fast. It seemed like we just came on. So man, shout out to you, man. Any last thing you want to leave us before we get out of here? We're gonna try to
Man,
we might try to get that back together Friday, man. Lord willing.
listen, we got 60 days to the first USC football game. I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is the hardest time of the year for me because I'm really football heavy. I can do the
Yeah.
NBA playoffs and cool. I'm a
Yeah.
Laker. I like LeBron. Hate LeBron.
Oh man, I don't even. Yeah.
Conversation. That's another conversation. I want LeBron to stay and just try to get a center. Get a real center, get 8 and out of there.
Man,
But anyway,
yeah,
so for me, and I'm happy it's the World Cup because I don't watch soccer like that, but I watch the World Cup. Okay.
yeah.
But this is the hardest time of the year for me, so I'm counting these days down
It's
to the
terrible.
first
Like this
game.
literally is the worst. I
Yeah,
cannot. It's just hard. Like
yeah.
you get tired of talking over and over because it's like we here, but we ready to get this thing popping, man. Like this is it. Yeah,
I'm a football nut, man. I've been like this since I
yeah.
was a kid. I just want more and more football, man. But no, Jay, like I said, bro, I'm looking forward to Friday. I'll give you my top 5 USC quarterbacks. I'll break down why. I'll make it make sense, and we go from there.
You guys drop the comments, man. Let us know if you want to hear that and don't put yours in there and we'll kind of just get a preview. We might end up putting some of your screenshotting those comments for when we come back Friday, man.
But Jay, let's be clear. I'm talking about who are the most talented best quarterbacks. I'm not talking about the trophies, okay? Because if it's a trophy,
Yeah.
it's all about that, then it's Matt. Again, I got Leonard as the number 1 Trojan overall, but I have him as the number 4 quarterback.
We gotta have two categories in because the number one Trojan overall, and then the top 4
Yeah,
5 quarterbacks.
yeah.
I got
So let's
Marcus
do it.
Allen number one Trojan of because look at here's another part. See, we about to do a whole nother show right now. Here's
Yeah.
another part. I just seen Mark. Who else do you know right now? And this is gonna bleed over to the next show. Who else do you know right now? We just seen him with Danny Lang. We seen him with all kinds of recruits. He's so heavily involved right now, and he's still a Trojan, and they still able to identify with him. So we're gonna leave that right there. you know,
All
that's
right,
a
listen. Let me tell you like this, and I said it before on your show. Jack Ward, who was the head athletic trainer at USC in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. Okay, he's seen the majority of all the greats. I asked him when I was at USC in the 90s, who was the toughest player you've ever helped out, worked with? He said Marcus Allen was,
yeah,
you talk about this
yeah,
pain tolerance. And that when you talk about tough NFL, that pain tolerance is what you're talking about, really.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
who can play with the most pain, the highest level of pain. And we didn't have some grown men come through that program. And he said Marcus Allen without any hesitation.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, we're going to pick this back up Friday. And look, we appreciate everybody for tapping in. It's been 35 quick minutes. That was incredible. Marvin always does a phenomenal job. He brings that energy, man. Marvin, real quick before you go, tell them one more time where they can find you at.
Hey, y'all, I am a writer for Roundtable Sports. Check me out. I cover NFL in college. You can catch me on social media, Marvin Powell III, Marvin on the mic. I'm on all the platforms, and just looking forward to doing more shows with Jay, and looking forward to this USC football season that's coming up there.
So we appreciate my guy Marvin, man. Welcome back from vacation, man. Appreciate you, man. You guys already know any breaking news, anything, any news, we're gonna drop it like it's hot, man. Until later on. Listen, everybody stay blessed, man. I'm out, man. Fight on, fight on, fight on.